Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. The Police Complaints Authority are hosting community outreach meetings, and they're coming up soon, like as soon as today. So you want to stay tuned to find out all you can about it and be a part of it. This morning, I welcome Director of the PCA, David West, to join us and tell us a bit more. Good morning to you, Mr. West.
Good morning, Rawkus. Good morning to your viewers and listeners, wherever they are.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
All right. Tell me the purpose of these community outreach sessions.
Sure. Well, we haven't had an outreach session since the pandemic has finished.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided, we had sessions virtually with other groups and other stakeholders. So now we decided we want to get physical. We want to come back into the public domain, and we want to educate the public again what we do or what we don't do, and how we can assist them if they have a complaint against police officers.
All right. So, but why is it important for you to get back to that now?
Well, because there's been an increase in initial reports made to the Police Complaints Authority. We've had, from 2014 to present, we've had over 7,000 initial reports, which have been transferred into about 5,000 complaints.
Okay.
So far to date, we've had about 790 initial reports and about 500 complaints. So we see that the public are reaching out to us through our social media and our complaints. So now we want to go into the public, and we want to educate them about what we do, about their rights when they interact with the police officers. You see a lot of times where persons are filming interactions, and police officers are saying that you can't film me, turn off the camera. But that's not right. Once you don't obstruct the police officer in the execution of their duty, you have the right to film them. Okay? We also want to show how you can tell people how you can make a complaint to the PCA via our various social media, by walking in, etc.
But you've been seeing people making the complaints via social media already.
Yes, they've been coming in.
Right.
But we want to, if they want to ask us questions, we want to be able to go there and have a live discussion. We want to have a conversation with them about what we do and how we can assist them. Because at the end of the day, we want to get the public to trust the police. We want to increase that public trust, so they can therefore make reports to them when they know something is wrong, and the police can go out and solve the crime.
And so when we complain to the Police Complaints Authority, we are complaining about the police?
Yeah.
Yes?
Our remit, or we only look at police officers in terms of their criminal conduct, when they have a serious disciplinary offense or corruption.
All right. So are these the topics that we're going to cover in these sessions as well?
We're going to cover anything that the public wants answered. Those are just some of the topics I will talk about. Of course, we will talk about, what offense is most prevalent that we have complaints from, how you can make a complaint by our social media, and also, and anything that the public want answered about whether they can film an officer. They can then give us their experience, and then we can answer that and say, well, listen, you are right or you are wrong.
All right. So then tell me, so far, in terms of the complaints that have come in, how many of them have been able to be dealt with? As in that we can say that, I sent a complaint in and I can get some sort of redress or some sort of closure on the situation.
Well, we have figures for that. We've sent to the DPP.
Right.
Okay, so what happens is that when the complainant makes a complaint, we do an investigation. After the investigation, if the complaint is valid, we then make a referral to the DPP if it's a criminal offense, or to the COP if it's a disciplinary offense.
Right.
Okay? So we've had about, I would say about 50 or so matters have gone to the DPP, and about 200 matters or so have gone to the Commissioner of Police. We also issue advice to the Commissioner of Police when we see that there's room for improvement. For example, when they're managing files, they hand over. Many times when officers retire, the file is then handed over, but sometimes the handover process is not as efficient as it should be, and files go missing and go lost. So we try to encourage the Commissioner of Police to have a proper case management system or record-keeping system, so files can be, properly allocated, and then when we ask for it, we can get it in a timely fashion.
All right. Do you mind sharing with us this morning how people can make the complaints, and what does the process really involve?
Sure. Right, so there's several methods we can make a complaint. So several.
Several, okay.
Several. Sorry, my fault. All right, you can walk into the PCA. We're located at level 24 Tower D by the Hyatt. Or we're also located in Tobago at Bacalet Street, opposite the High Court. So you can walk in and make a complaint. You'll see our complaints officer, and you can make a complaint to them. You can download our app. We have an app that's been going on since 2015, 16. And our app, you could download the app on the iOS or Android platform. You can then write your statement in the app. You can attach a photograph. You could attach a statement. You can attach a video of what's going on. And we get it that way. Okay. You could also email us at info@pca.org.tt. And you could also go to our website, www.pca.org.tt. And on the website, it's an interactive website, and you have the complaint section. You just press that, and you can then write your complaint, and we will get it. So once the complaint comes in, it then goes to our legal department to determine whether or not the facts that you have stated fall within our remit. So that is whether it's a criminal offense, a serious disciplinary offense, or corruption. Once it falls within our remit, we then issue a letter to the complainant within 7 days saying your matter falls within the remit or it doesn't fall within our remit. Once that happens, the legal department then transfers the information to our investigators. Our investigators go out on the field and they investigate the matter. They go to the police stations, they get witness statements, they take CCTV footage or whatever digital evidence they need, and then they put together a file for the legal department to go through to make sure that it fits the facts and that there is a reasonable cause to suspect that that matter happened. Once that happens, the legal department then writes up a file for the authority, that is myself and the deputy director. Once that happens, we then go through the file. We go through everything. So we make sure that everything is in order and nothing is missing. And then we then make a referral to the DPP or COP as we see fit. Okay, and that's so it's a very rigorous process, but we also have checks and balances within the PCA to make sure that we are doing a proper job.
Okay, so you all have checks on yourself to make sure that you're self-checking yourself properly.
Exactly, that's correct. And because I want to stress also, because we are an independent, civilian-based body, I want to make sure that the public knows, all right, that we check ourselves, right? So because we want to make sure that when we give a decision, it is based on the best evidence that we have gathered.
Tell me about some of the methods that you would have put in place to improve that transparency and accountability.
Sure. Well, very recently, we in the PCA have purchased body-worn cameras.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because when our investigators go out on the field, they will then be interacting with the public. And the public seeing that would realize that when they tell us something, it's recorded, and then we can then take a statement from that. And that recording is transparent, it's real-time evidence. And in the outreach, we're also going to have on display the body-worn cameras, and we're also going to display what actually footage from an actual scene. Of course, certain areas will be blurred out, etc. But so we're going to show the public what exactly the body-worn camera can do, and we hope that will then encourage officers to wear their body-worn camera, because then it shows the public could have trust in them. And it also makes for better investigations. We can then determine whether or not our investigators should have asked more questions, should have asked less questions. We can then replay it for him and other investigators to make sure that they have the proper idea of how we should do a proper investigation. We also have portable recording devices, okay? And this equipment is taken on the field, so the complainant doesn't have to come in to the PCA. We can go to them,
right,
and then we can then record their complaint, okay? And then that recording of the complaint, we could come back and take a statement, or that recording can actually be used in evidence under the new law that was passed. That recording can be used as evidence now. So we are up with the technology. We try to show the public that we are doing an independent, transparent, and efficient job. So when they make a complaint, they can be assured that when we come to a decision, it will be an independent and just decision.
Are there I don't know if consequences is the right word to use, but are there things in place that ensure that your investigators wear these body cams? Because, I mean, the police have body cams. Some of them don't wear it. They wear it if they want to. What do you have in place to make sure that your investigators wear them all the time so that you can get those real-time, that footage afterwards?
Right. So we have a policy document that we have done up in the PCA to wear, in conjunction with the investigators, to show when they should wear the body camera. Now, no, it's not every time they go out, they wear the body camera. But in certain circumstances where they feel that the situation demands or arises, they can wear the body camera. And it's up to them to turn it on, and it's up to them to use it as best as they can. But of course, if it is that the evidence comes back and I'm going through the file and I am of the view, or the deputy director is of the view that the body-worn camera should have been worn, we will then ask questions. Why wasn't it worn? This is an ideal or perfect opportunity for it to be worn. But so far, it is being used by our investigators, and we are seeing the benefits of the body-worn camera. Plus, our body-worn camera also has GPS capabilities.
Nice.
So what that means is that
you could find them.
No, I can't find them, but we can track them, or we can track the movement. So when a witness, if they go to a scene and a witness says the officer knocked on the door, he went to this bedroom, went to that bedroom, he went down in the back, he ran, we can then track that.
The movement.
And then we can then look at that against the police officer's statement to see where he went and what transpired. So we can then marry the two to see which one is making sense. You see, so it is it's a really investigative tool. We're really making sure that we do the best job as possible.
I've heard lots of police officers complain about sometimes they do their part and they would capture somebody even with evidence, as the case may be, and they feel as though it doesn't go through the process quickly enough, or they go through a part of the process and they end up back out on the street again causing trouble. And a lot of them try to take matters into their own hands, we've seen in some cases. What does the Police Complaints Authority have in place, or do you all even deal with addressing things like extrajudicial killings?
Right. So we do investigate police-involved shootings. That's the correct term. Extrajudicial is, it seems to be that it's wrong to start off with. So we call it police-involved shootings.
Okay.
So how we investigate those, we go out there and we investigate the shooting, but police officers should not take the law into their own hands. I mean, that is vigilante justice, and we don't encourage that at all. Because once there's a breakdown in the rule of law, then all hell will break loose.
Yeah.
So we're trying to avoid that, and that is why the body camera is so important, because it could justify the actions of the police officers.
Right.
So once the police officers act within the law, they are justified. If somebody shoots at them, they are well within their right to fire back.
Right.
And the police officers are heavily armed, much more than the bandits. Okay. Well,
I can't say that for sure.
In some cases, well, many times
I don't know the bandits that have guns, so I can't really join that part of the conversation.
In many times, the officers have their Galil or MP3,
right?
And the officers, the bandits only have a 9mm or whatever. But sometimes, of course,
I'll take your word for it, because I've seen some scary videos out there, and I don't know what type of gun it is, and I don't know the difference in the types of guns.
The reports we get from the police officers suggest that.
Okay, fantastic. Tell me about the outreach sessions. Let's get back to that. When and where?
Sure. So we have 2 outreach sessions planned so far. A third we want to have in Tobago in November. So the outreach is today,
right,
at 6 p.m. at City Hall in Port of Spain. We have an outreach session going on. And then following Thursday on the 26th at 6 p.m. in San Fernando City Hall, we have an outreach going on.
Nice.
And then in Tobago, we're hoping for November to get a venue so we can go to Tobago.
No problem. Because you'll make sure and let us know if you get the venue for Tobago, so we could at least let people know it's happening.
Yeah, definitely.
So this evening, we head to City Hall Auditorium in Port of Spain from 6 to 8 p.m. And you're invited, of course, to the community outreach meeting. And then next week, the 26th, you said. The 26th, we also head to San Fernando City Hall, 6 p.m., same time.
Correct, yes.
For the second community outreach session. And then we look forward to the one in Tobago as well.
And I want to encourage the public to come out, hear what we have to say. Let us educate you, and let us hear what let us hear what issues you are having with both with us and TTPS, because sometimes people do say we don't respond in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough, and let's hear that so we can fix that. Right? That is what we are there for, to assist the public, so that when they make a complaint, they feel that they have had some sort of justice, or they have been able to have their complaint rectified.
Yeah. Mr. West, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show.
My pleasure.
Before you go, just quickly tell people how they can contact the PCA if they want to find out more about other upcoming events and initiatives.
Right, so they can contact us at on our telephone number is 2264-PCA. That's 2264-PCA. They can email us at info@pca.org.tt. They can download our web page at www.pca.org.tt, or they can contact us via our app on the Android store or Play Store, Police Complaints Authority, TT.
Mr. David West, the Director of the Police Complaints Authority, joining us this morning to share a little bit about the upcoming community outreach meetings. Thank you very much, sir. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
All right, we take a quick break and we come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stick around.
This question is the